Who do you think is going to win this election?
Trump.
What about you, sir?
Trump.
Yep. And what about you, sir?
Donald Trump.
Ditto.
Ditto. What about you?
Same.
You think Donald Trump's going to win? What about
Yes,
you,
sir. I think so, too.
So, of course, we're in Georgia, and it's pretty much Trump country. So I'm not surprised that you got a lot of folks that feel like Donald Trump is going to win. Black Lives Matter, Rhode Island, Mark Fisher. Mark, thanks so much for joining the program. This is my favorite story of the day because it identifies with what I've seen in the barbershop. All the brothers, for some reason right now, are turning tides right now. And I just wonder, what is the big reason?
I think personally, it's the duplicity of the Democrats, the hypocrisy. We're not stupid. The brothers are not stupid. We understand when someone's for us and when someone is not. And it's obvious that the Democratic Party is not for us.
Yeah, I keep...
Their policies actually strike at the heart of the black family and the nuclear family.
Yeah, so, you were a part of Black Lives Matter. You founded it there. And now you're saying, you're not saying the entire Republican Party, you're saying Donald Trump. So what is it about Donald Trump? Is it the economics? You noted the black family. What is it going to take for him to shore up this support amongst black voters?
Well, I just think that it's going to take information. A lot of people are misinformed. They don't really understand because they don't educate themselves on Donald Trump as a person and his history. But if they do that, and it's going to take, leaders, educated leaders, getting the word out there, I think that it'll happen on its own and it'll be organic because personally, I love the man. I mean, how could you not like if a real man? How could you not relate to someone like that?
The tide is indeed turning, gang. This is absolutely amazing. That was Mark Fisher, the founder of Black Lives Matter chapter in Rhode Island. He's the chairman of BLM in Maryland. He has now publicly endorsed President Trump, all as the Democrats face a 2024 disaster. Greetings, everyone. It is live stream Friday, the first live stream of December. I am your host, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. We are live on both YouTube and Rumble, but unfortunately, as you will quickly find out, those of you who are on YouTube, our super chats, by which you would normally send me your questions, has been disabled. And that is because, as many of you know, we have been completely and totally demonetized, which is putting our daily communication with one another at risk like never before. Now, we are actively working on getting this resolved, but as things stand, we have been, without any warning, totally and completely demonetized, and it will be that way for some months now. Now, this is one of the reasons why we have such an affinity for Elon Musk, because you'll notice that what he did the other day at that New York Times forum, you're right, the FU forum, he called out all of these CEOs and ad executives who were deliberately demonetizing X, formerly known as Twitter. He called them out for what they were really trying to do. Did you catch that? He called them out for what they were really trying to do, which is deliberately trying to make us patriots feel like we're alone. They're openly trying to destroy our ability to stay connected on these platforms. That's what demonetizing X, formerly known as Twitter, is all about. They want to sever our relationship with each other. I mean, think about it. What's one of the worst punishments to give a human outside of physical torture? It's solitary confinement. And that's what these corporate CEOs and what big tech social government are all trying to do with us. They're trying to put patriots and those courageously speaking truth in digital solitary confinement. This is what they tried to do with Trump. This is what they're trying to do with Musk. And now this is what they're trying to do to us. But in the end, it's only having the opposite effect. And that is because you all are true patriots. And true patriots stand up and stand together. Over this week, you have carried this channel like never before. We've had more people than ever make a courageous decision to bypass big tech and join our Insiders Club, where we have direct access to one another each and every day that can never be interrupted by big tech overlords. I first made you all aware of what was happening to us on that Monday night live stream. I told you that we needed your help now more than ever. And here we are at the end of the week, and I can tell you, you delivered like never before. All this week, we have seen literally thousands of you come to our rescue. And you've done it in two ways. You've signed up for a free newsletter, and you've officially joined our Insiders Club. Just those two acts are enough for us to collectively stand together and never, ever, ever have our relationship severed. And I cannot thank you enough for that. So I'm inviting the rest of you to do the same just by clicking on the link below and signing up for our newsletter and then joining our Insiders Club. You're guaranteeing that there is nothing that big tech can ever do to get between us and make us feel like we're in digital solitary confinement. So this is a call for all hands on deck. Perhaps this is the first time you've heard about this and you're steaming mad right now, but I'm inviting all of you just to join me and tens of thousands of your fellow patriots all over the world. We're an international patriot community of faith, family, and freedom. I'm inviting you to stand up and courageously fight back. It's as simple as just clicking on the link below right now and opting in for our free email newsletter. And once you do that, you can then financially support us, if you're so led, by joining our Insiders Club. Now, that's how we're going to be doing questions today. Many of you are so kind and generous. You graciously give us every week on our live stream Friday. You give us $10, $20, $50 in the super chats. Today, guess what? Sign up for our Insiders Club. You get to ask me your questions for every live stream for the next month at a fraction of that cost, okay? It's the least I can do to show you my appreciation for the support that you've shown to us this week. So click on that link below right now. Join our Insiders Club and send me your questions, and I will honor. It will be an honor for me to answer them right here on our live stream. So, gang, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you enough for your support during a time like this. You are my heroes, and it will be my mission to express my appreciation for you, every single one of you, each and every day. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. We got a country to save. You heard it at the beginning there, both from the Georgia bar as well as the BLM co-founder. The Democrats' worst nightmare is coming true. We're already getting reports that the Biden campaign has conceded the key swing state of Georgia. The New York Times is reporting that the Biden campaign has basically given up this crucial state that Biden supposedly won by 10,000 votes back in 2020. The Times is reporting that all signs suggest that the Biden campaign is already conceding that Trump is going to win the state in a blowout. According to the latest Siena poll, Trump is beating Biden in Georgia by 6 points. Again, remember, the final polling before November of 2020 had Trump and Biden tied in Georgia. They were neck and neck, and Biden pulled it off with 10,000 votes. Now Trump is beating him by 6, and the Biden campaign looks like they're already just writing the state off. There is no way they're going to win this thing, no matter what shenanigans they pull. The Times is reporting that the campaign has largely stopped spending money in Georgia. This after voter mobilization organizers found voters to be significantly apathetic towards Biden. And in other words, his own constituencies are not excited about him. They don't plan on coming out to vote for him. So they're going to focus all of their efforts elsewhere. And that is what's so key with that BLM co-founder and his endorsement of Trump. Trump, of course, gave him a huge shout out to Mark Fisher, the BLM co-founder, who we spoke with personally, as I understand it, and thanked him for his endorsement and his very brave stand for Trump. And what's so interesting here is that Trump actually got some pushback on that, particularly from DeSantis's people who are still signed on to the DeSantis sinking ship. But they're claiming that Trump just got hoodwinked into praising BLM. In other words, a BLM co-founder is the last person you want to get an endorsement from. But for me, this completely misses the bigger picture here, right? I mean, this is failing to see the forest from the trees. What Mark Fisher's endorsement, this co-founder BLM's endorsement, is indicative of is the fact that the Democratic coalition is unraveling. That's the key to understanding the endorsement. It's not, hey, Trump's touting BLM. No, it's the fact that the whole coalition is unraveling. There is, as we speak, a massive surge in the black vote for Trump, a surge that's beyond anything any Republican has seen in a half a century. Even CNN is admitting this. And this is according to an assessment by the Washington Post. Democracy dies in darkness. Well, indeed. We now have data that shows that Trump is actually winning. He's beating Biden with non-white men. Non-white men are voting overwhelmingly Trump. Gang, this is a constituency that voted for Biden by 70 points. That was the margin. That was the margin. Non-white working class voters voted for Biden by 70 points. They're now voting Trump. This is what the Democrats are freaking out. Their coalition is unraveling right in front of their very eyes. Look, don't take my word for it. Even Chris Cuomo, yes, Chrissy Cuomo, formerly of CNN, even Cuomo is openly saying that he's considering backing Trump. Check it out.
Biden, Trump, look, for me, again, we survived a Trump administration. Would we survive another one? Yes. Yes. I don't think there's any greater risk to America with him than with Biden. And for people who are now going to attack me and say, what are you talking about? Trump is like this crazy man. Well, look, as Patrick says, the data is the data. Nobody was trying to kill us when Trump was president in a way that they're not now. If anything, there's more hostility. And you can have reasons for that any way you want. I'm just saying, existentially, I'm not afraid of a Trump presidency. Existentially, I'm not afraid of another Biden presidency because, unlike many people in America, I believe that the country is much stronger than any individual leader. We survived the Russia thing. We survived January 6th. We survived having Biden as a gaffe machine. We survived Congress going after each other and doing nothing for the rest of us. We survived these things. Are we better for it? No. Should we be doing things differently? Yes. I think it happens. I don't know when. I don't even know why. But, in terms of who I'm going to vote for, I would really have to see where we are at that moment in time. And
so you're open to a Trump vote?
I am always open. And I'll tell you this. People say, oh, bullshit, you've never voted for a Republican in your life. Wrong. And not only have I, the first vote I ever cast was for a Republican.
Never in a million years would I ever have even conceived of Chris Cuomo, the one-time soul of CNN, saying what you just heard. That's a guy from a Democrat political dynasty. His dad, his brother. Cuomo is the face of the New York Democrat establishment. And he's now openly, he is publicly saying he's open to voting for Trump. And then he actually gives reason for, because there's no way around it. You heard the data. Nobody was trying to kill us when Trump was president in a way that they're trying to kill us now. And here Cuomo is echoing an admission that more and more the legacy media are recognizing, that Trump's foreign policy was an astounding success, particularly evident in the fact that he's the only president since Jimmy Carter that did not get America involved in a new war. Trump's tenure was marked by an uncharacteristic peace abroad. Putin wasn't invading. China wasn't threatening. Hamas wasn't terrorizing. I mean, even North Korea was relatively tame. Kim Jong-un loved having Trump be the first, I believe, Western leader, let alone president, visit and actually step into North Korea. Now, none of this can even remotely be said about bumbling Biden. In many respects, the world has just unraveled. It's become radically disordered ever since the Biden regime took over. And as you just heard, what was that? You just heard. I'm that excited. I'm yodeling. Chris Cuomo, of all people, once the soul of CNN, is openly saying that. Even his old employer, CNN, is admitting the world leaders don't take Biden seriously. He's being snubbed quite literally all over the world. Russia's laughing at him. China's laughing at him. The whole of the Middle East is laughing at him. Africa's laughing at him. Now Argentina with Javier Milei. Now they're laughing at him. But it's not just Chrissy Cuomo gang admitting this and openly declaring he might vote for Trump. Joe Rogan of late, he was a Bernie supporter. He's saying that he's voting Trump in 2024. Even the far left actor, Michael Rappaport, some of you may have heard this. He was once as never, ever, ever Trump as you could possibly get. Even he is now considering voting for Trump. Take a look.
If it comes down to pig dick Donald Trump and smoking Joe Biden, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Voting for pig dick Donald Trump is on the table. I'm sorry. I'll still call him slob dick Donald Trump, pig dick Donald Trump, and all that. But we need to get this whole situation under control.
Yeah, sorry for the language there. We tried to bleep out most of it, but you needed to hear that. You needed to hear what Democrats are hearing. Remember, no Democrat on the planet, just months ago, literally months ago, no Democrat on the planet even conceived of the possibility that we would be 11 months out from the 2024 election and BLM leaders and former CNN anchors and former Bernie supporters and former Never Trump Hollywood actors would all collectively be saying that they were ready to vote Trump. That was utterly inconceivable. But that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. The Democratic coalition is unraveling. Look, and it gets worse. Their coalition collapse gets even worse. But if you're just tuning in, if you're trying to ask a question via super chats, you'll notice our super chats on YouTube have been disabled. And that's because our channel did get completely demonetized over the Thanksgiving weekend. How was your Thanksgiving? Well, now you know how mine was, which of course is putting our relationship and our ability to communicate and connect with each other at risk like never before. And so we're calling everyone to an all hands on deck mode. Our relationship and our ability to stay in touch with each other means more to me now than anything else ever. So all you got to do is just make sure that we never lose touch with each other. Just click on the link below and sign up for our email list. It's completely free. And then if you like, you have the option of joining our Insiders Club. And that's how you can ask me your questions for our live stream today. So just join the club. And it's a fraction of the cost that many of you normally graciously give to me in your super chats. I'm so grateful for that. And you're good to ask. You just do that today. You're good to ask me your questions for the whole rest of the month. You could actually sign up for a year. You can ask me your questions for the whole rest of the year. It's on me. It's my way of just showing my appreciation for you and your relationship together on this channel. It means more to me than anything else. So just click on that link below and let's show big tech there is no way that they can ever get between us. All right. So here's how it gets even worse for Biden and the Democrats. It's not just the non-white vote that's increasingly abandoning them. Many of you have heard about this, but young voters have now abandoned Biden in droves. Now, this is a constituency that voted for Biden with 65% of the vote back in 2020. Gang, they're gone. They're gone. They've defected, and they're now voting majority Trump. Overwhelmingly Trump, actually. I mean, let that hit you. Trump is winning with the under 30 vote. The youngest voters who have historically voted overwhelmingly for the Democrat, are now voting Trump. It's not just the non-white vote, particularly non-white men. It's now the young vote. The under 30 or under 35 vote. They've now abandoned Biden. Rich Barris of the People's Pundit has said that Trump is now, he's got data that shows Trump is now just a hair away of carrying the college vote, the college grad vote. Remember, college grads have, of late in the last decade or so, have trended overwhelmingly towards the Democrats. And then the non-college grad voter, the non-grad, I guess, has been trending overwhelmingly Republican. Now Trump is a hair away from actually carrying the college grad vote. And it gets worse. This is one of the reasons why we're seeing numbers like this. Not only is Biden's approval rating tanking in the 30s overall, but among independents. The key voter group he needs to win in 2024 among independents, he's sunk into the 20s, gang. He's in the 20s. Almost 8 in 10 independents have turned their backs on Biden. And we have poll after poll after poll to corroborate that, right? Were the election held today, according to CBS, Trump would win independents by double digits, 54 to 44. According to Quinnipiac, they would be tied, whatever their methodology is there. According to CNN, Trump would win independents by 4. According to Harris X, Trump has a 14-point lead among independents. Fox has Trump with a 16-point lead among independents, and NBC has Trump up by 11. I believe the average is 9, nearly an average double-digit lead. And remember, Trump always overperforms his polls. Trump has never underperformed his polls. Remember, I forget which poll had, was it Quinnipiac? I forget which one had Biden winning Wisconsin at one point by 17 points, right? Biden always underperforms his polls. Trump always overperforms. He won, Biden won Wisconsin with 20,000 votes, virtually all of which were thrown out later by the Wisconsin, de facto, by the Wisconsin Supreme Court when they declared ballot boxes to be unconstitutional, according to their state constitution. Gang, it's so bad. We talked about this the other day in our video. It's so bad right now that the latest data coming out of the state of Minnesota, Minnesota's, as you know, as we talked about yesterday, I think it was the day before, Minnesota will forever be blotted with the stigma of being the single state that voted for Walter Mondale in 1984 in the Reagan 49 state landslide. Look at this. This is from Rich Barris, big data polling. Trump is beating Biden in Minnesota by a point. he's beating Biden in a state that Biden won by 7 points in 2020. Now we're seeing a near 10-point swing in Trump's direction in a state, at least when it comes to presidential politics, is as reliably blue as they get. Even in a 49-state landslide for the Republican, Minnesota still remained true to blue. And this is the very same thing we're seeing all over the nation, that Trump is surging double-digit swings even in the bluest of blue states. We saw this with the latest Siena College poll coming out of New York. We talked about that the other day. Right now, Biden is beating Trump by barely 10 points in a state where Biden won by 20 points. So even in New York, we're seeing a double-digit swing towards Trump in a matter of months. In fact, New York's been going through a bit of a red wave in the 2 election cycles in 2022 and the latest 2023 off-year election. We're just seeing Republicans killing it in New York. God bless Lee Zeldin. He's doing a great job. Much better than Ronna McDaniel, that's for sure. And we know a large reason why this is. When all is said and done, when you ask any voter, who do you trust more with your top issues, Biden or Trump? It's Trump plus 10 on inflation. It's Trump plus 10 on it's Trump plus 12 on inflation. Trump plus 10 on the economy. It's Trump plus 10 on crime. It's Trump plus 12. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Trump plus, I'm getting all my numbers crazed out. It's Trump plus 10 on immigration. Yes, Trump plus 9 on crime. The top 4 concerns that voters have, Trump runs away with it, mostly by double digits. Make no mistake, that's independents and Republican voters forming an insurmountable coalition together, ready to take Biden out in 2024. Again, gang, don't take my word for it. That's exactly what the analysis at Real Clear Politics is concluding. We talked about this in another video. When you look at all the polling data, not cherry-picked polls, all the polling data, right? The entire polling universe, as it were. That's why I like Real Clear Politics, because they have the polling aggregate. They average out all the polls. What the RCP analysts are arguing right now is that if you take all the polls out there, there's no way around this. Trump crushes Biden. Trump crushes Biden. Of the last 12 national polls, Trump leads Biden in 10 of the 12. Trump crushes Biden. He is the favorite now to win. He's the odds favorite to win. Gang, this is absolutely astonishing stuff. Remember, it bears repeating. We can never forget, Trump never led Biden ever in 2020. In any poll, he never led Biden in 2020. When we were analyzing the 2020 election, I predicted fully that Trump would win. We were analyzing it from different election models that did not rely on polls. I said, forget the polls. The polls are just nutty. Don't even pay attention to. Now those very same polls with the same nutty, methodologies and the like, the same crazy weighting systems giving us 50% Democrats or whatever, or 60% Democrats. Those same methodologies, the same polls are now showing Trump crushing Biden by at least 300 electoral votes, far beyond the margin of fraud. So that's where we are right now, gang, for 2024. Were the election held today, the Democrats would get crushed and Trump would easily win a second term. Obviously, we will keep our eyes peeled on how things develop. This is no time to get complacent. We need to be out there and doing what Scott Pressler does each and every day, pounding the pavement for Donald Trump, getting out the vote, the rural vote. But things look as if they are only going to continue to get worse for bumbling Biden and the Democrats, and better for the one and only soon-to-be number 47. Over to you as our moderator, Josh, assembles your questions. Let me bring in our producer, Hannah. She's been hanging out behind the scenes here. Here she is.
Hi,
Hannah's
everybody.
here. Hannah, give us an update on the Insiders Club memberships.
Yeah.
I told everybody at the beginning, I just thanked them. I couldn't be more grateful. We're seeing record numbers of members coming on in, signing up on the email list and the like. Give us an update if you would.
Well, first, I want to say how wonderful it is to be in the virtual studio right now with Insiders Club members. I see your names right here. It's just amazing that we're not relying on YouTube. Some people might be watching us on YouTube right now, but we're actually in the virtual studio. So if you want to join us, just click below. But yes, guys, I think Steve expressed this in the beginning. Thank you for your support over this last week. It has been monumental. We've never seen support like this before, and it's absolutely incredible. We actually had to bring on more people to help in our customer service because there are so many people that are trying to get in. So I take that as a huge win. So for those of you that are still trying to get in, please know we are actively working to get everybody up and running in the system. If you are a current member, just check your email, just check your text message. That is the main way where you can log into the backside of the virtual studios here when we do live streams. The pending account is mainly for all the recordings of the trainings and the recordings of these live streams. So we'll get you in there. I just want to shout out our team at Turley Talks too. People reached out to me this morning from our team saying they were going to work overtime this weekend because they care so much about everybody here getting in. So thank you so much for your patience. All you who are out there who are just joining right now, it's amazing to see us building this structure that's not overseen by YouTube or even Rumble. A lot of people have asked about why we're not just going over to Rumble. You know what? Rumble could turn around one day and decide they don't like us either. So this is why we are building this for ourselves. So if you have not yet joined us, like Steve said, $5 a month, that's like the cost of one super chat. Just put that, just click that link in the description. You can join us there. They're saying, we met with a YouTube expert this week who is conservative. Guys, it seems like most people are conservative who work there. We could be back in a couple months, but I don't know. They could just be telling us that. So their next step could be even worse. So yeah, come join us. Hey guys, sorry, it's fun to see them in the virtual chat. Everybody's joining. Click the link in the description, join.turleytalks.com, and you can see us. But yeah, let's take some questions from our Insiders Club members, the courageous patriots who've joined us here. And if you want to answer, if us or Steve to answer your question, you can click the link in the description there. And we do this every Monday night, so I feel like it's Monday, Steve.
Yeah, I know. I that's what I feel like. I feel like it's Monday. We do a live Q&A every Monday night where we do all kinds of updates about the Turley Talks community, boycotts and boycotts, all that great stuff.
Yeah, so I see questions from YouTube people, but you need to go into the virtual studio for us in order to answer those. So if you, and I will say too, if you don't want to become a member, I think Steve said this earlier, please just go to the website and put in your email. That way, if something happened and we're not here Monday morning, that could very well possibly happen. Go in, put your email, and that way you can get the emails and the text messages to tell you where to go. Right. So go in and do that. Yeah, so that's the quick update. Things are great because we are building them out by ourselves because of you guys. So thank you. All right. Should we jump into some questions here?
Absolutely.
Steve?
Yeah.
All right.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Well,
DT,
hello.
Yeah, of course. Oh, my. Let's see. What do you think about the mayor banks and credit cards closing the accounts of conservative? I'm assuming you meant major banks and credit cards. Yeah. So this is part of debanking. It's a very, very pernicious practice. Nigel Farage across the pond faced that with his bank, where they are basically making it impossible for us to buy and sell. Again, it's beyond horrific, and this is why I love Elon Musk so much. Because he called them out and said that's what they're trying to, that's what advertisers are doing right now with X. by pulling their dollars. They're trying to starve it financially, hold it hostage, as it were. And Musk said, "F you. We're not going to bend the knee to that. We're going to create our own parallel economy, our own parallel infrastructure to protect us from this insanity." And it's, as we're seeing, like with BRICS, which is a parallel economy on a global front, we're seeing with BRICS, it's going to even end up surpassing this pathetic little woke economy. So they have all the power now. That's one of the reasons why we started the Insiders Club, is to create an international network of connective tissue that brings patriots together so as to more effectively build a parallel economy. Oh, you're muted there, Hannah.
Sorry there. Okay. I see some questions here from Insiders members asking how to ask questions. I want to just say an administrative thing real quick. If you are someone who's been in the membership for a while, you know you can just put it in the chat, but just put the word question in front of it in all caps, and then we'll take your question. So if you want to ask a question, if you're watching on YouTube right now, just click the link in the description and make sure to join our email list, and you can join our membership program and come into the virtual studio. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
But can the election votes be trusted? Yeah, so obviously, Mary, trust in all public institutions and practices, including our elections, is an all-time low. All the polls are showing that. And so, yeah, they're going to have to do their part in demonstrating a certain level of trustworthiness. I think in many ways, blue states are doing everything they can to crush confidence, because they want to crush us, our will to go out and vote, because we suddenly say, it doesn't matter. It's my vote obviously isn't going to count, because look who's counting the votes. You don't want to get discouraged like that. You don't want to turn the hopes of liberals into reality by keeping us from voting. Get out there, vote. And we are seeing, Mary, I've done a couple of videos on this. The other one the other day. There is, slowly but surely, the courts are starting to step in and forcing states to clean up their act. So Wisconsin threw out ballot harvesting. The Supreme Court threw it out there. Now the Democrats are trying to bring it back. But again, at least for now, it's thrown out in Wisconsin. Georgia, you have a judge who, I believe it's January 7th, is the date scheduled to examine electronic voting machines in Georgia, because Coffee County was hacked. There was they have evidence of machines actually getting hacked and numbers changed. So there's so Arizona passed some very good laws that are now finally in effect. Again, the fact that we have an incompetent group of Democrats, well, intentionally incompetent, who are unwilling to enforce those laws is an issue, and it's a problem. That's why, again, we have to come out in force so massively that it goes beyond the margin of fraud. Barb, Dr. Steve hasn't been demonetized before now. There was one time we were about 2 years ago. It lasted about a month. This one is threatening to last at least 3 months. So, Steve C., what do you think will happen to this big donor support of Nikki Haley? Will raise her chances? Not much. It just seems that the more people who drop out, the larger Trump's margin lead grows, because a significant, about half or more than half, end up joining up with him, and then the rest gets split among the remaining single-digit midgets. So I don't see much coming out of this big donor support. Again, when all said and done, donors want Trump gone, whereas voters want Trump in office. That's the split that's happened between our donor class and the rank and file. And I just think the split is so massive. There's really nothing that Nikki Haley certainly can do to bridge that gap. Only Trump can. John Patton, folks, I'm new here, but we need to wake up. I listened to Dr. Steve at the time, but I don't care how far ahead Trump is ahead. The Dems are evil, and they will do everything or anything to stay in control. I believe they'll kill Trump to stay in control. That's exactly what Tucker asked Trump about on the night of the first debate. Disagree if you want, but it happens. What are we going to do? If that happens, what are we going to do? You better keep your protections clean and ready. I pray that I'm wrong. Just be ready. Yeah. Obviously, John, you prepare for the worst. You hope for the best. That's just a general principle of life. And I just think, I agree with you. I think we're living in a very, very scary time. Again, Tucker's saying that over and over and over again. We have no idea what 2024 is going to bring. And as the more and more they see that Trump is winning, I think the more and more desperate they get. And who knows what happens as a result of that. Thank you very much, John. Catherine, I've wondered if we could call for a boycott of Georgia, state I love, but Rhino Governor, so Governor Kemp and their AG there won't test the voting machines until after the 2024 election. Why? Hit them where it hurts, their donations. Yeah, I'm with you, Catherine. Even the Georgian never Trumper Governor Brian Kemp, even he's reading the writing on the wall and has said that he will vote Trump if Trump is on the ballot. And then we'll have to see what this judge decides on January 7th. I don't know how long the trial will go. It's not a trial. It's not a jury trial. It's a judge presiding over it, making the decision of what to do with the electronic voting. So it may happen before then. William, who's going to be his VP partner? That's what everybody's asking. The latest I heard is Ben Carson has perhaps the best chance. That's right now as we speak. We still have months before he's going to announce it. But Ben Carson, I like Ben Carson, but I frankly find him very boring. He's not somebody that fires up the base the way Trump can. And I don't know how much the deep state is afraid of Ben Carson. You need to have a VP that they're very, very afraid of, even more afraid than Trump. So as to keep Trump healthy, basically. Martin, why is there not a lawsuit here versus Google based upon equal protection clause? It's a good question. But right now, as we speak, big tech has been able to get away with a lot of stuff in court based on private property. It's a private company. And they've been able to get away with it via Republicans because, let's be frank, most of our Republican politicians are in their wallets. There's just no way around that. Todd, is the content on YouTube available on here also or only on YouTube? So if you're talking about the Insiders Club, our ecosystem inside of our Insiders Club, we have tons of more content in our Insiders Club. So we have behind the scenes, we have teachings, full courses that I've done on politics, on geopolitics, on retraditionalization, on the surge of religion in the world going on today, on globalism and the nature of globalization. So we have live Q&A. Those are all available there for all past live Q&As. Those are recorded. We've got our behind the scenes, and we've got our whole library of topics, of teaching topics that I have as well. So we have lots and lots of extra video content that you can't find anywhere else. So you really love it. It's a great value. That's why we have thousands of members. It's just absolutely wonderful. Adiv, George, Santos has been expelled from Congress. I did not see that. How about doing the same to the squad? Yeah, I mean, again, this is the donor class controlled Republican Party. They are bought and paid for by donors who recognize that Washington is owned by Democrats but rented by Republicans. So that's why you're never going to see a Democrat expelled, but the Republicans will expel because they know they can't do business with the owners unless the owners approve of how they're doing business. And so they wanted Santos gone. That's bottom line. All right, Steven, good to see you. George Santos just got expelled. Yeah, so we're getting hot off the press here. Let's see. Thank you for that, Steven. Will certain representatives be willing to go to war with China? Unfortunately, unfortunately they would. I mean, certainly Senator Lindsey Graham, who's never seen a war he didn't want to get involved in. It would be insane. Again, we're living in a very different world. This isn't post World War II, where the entire world was either destroyed or too destroyed or too poor to challenge us. And this isn't post 1991. Well, it is post 9, but it isn't 1991, where we were the sole superpower once again. China was still just emerging, just still coming up. But Russia had been dismembered, basically lost a third of its land mass overnight with all of the secessions and nationalisms that formed. And we're just not living in that world anymore. And so we have to be very, very careful of that. Chuck, Steve, how bad is the election fraud going to be this coming? It'll be, I don't think it's going to be as bad as 2020. The very fact that they're indicting Trump tells me they don't think they can cheat like they did. Like they presumably did, just in case we end up getting punished again for saying things like that. Like they presumably did. Like they appeared to have done. We're not going to see the mass mail-ins anymore. Certainly not among battleground states. You're not going to see it in Ohio or Iowa or Georgia or Arizona, Wisconsin. I don't think you'll see it in Michigan. I don't think you'll see it in Pennsylvania. Again, Scott Presler's been doing a magical job out in voter registration in Pennsylvania. But again, they're gonna pull out everything they possibly can to stop Trump, and nothing's beyond them.
Okay, real quick, we're going to do one more question and then answer them just in the virtual studio. So if you want to come join us, we're going to be talking all about stuff that maybe YouTube wouldn't like, and answer all of the members' questions in here. So let's do one more question. And then if you want to come over and watch the rest of this, just click the link in the description there. It's join.turleytalks.com. You can, first of all, please make sure to put your email in so we always can be in connection with you. And then if you want to come join us in the virtual studio, there's information about that. So yeah, one more.
Great. We'll answer one more then. Chuck, thank you for the Steve. How bad is the election fraud go? Whoops, we just got that one. One more. JB, in addition to videos analyzing the news and live streams, why not also do some videos on some key issues that are not covered enough by the news, in particular the impacts of mass immigration on citizens? 3 books on immigration: We Wanted Workers, Alien Nation, How Many is Too Many. Dr. Turley is the best YouTuber out there. Let's go. Love it, JB. Well, first of all, thank you. I'm not even worthy of that, but yeah, I that's a good question. I don't tend to focus on the negative side of the news because I figure that's been covered by 80%, 90% of our conservative influencers out there. We are living in the modern era. The modern era starts in the 18th century, more or less, and its whole goal is to emancipate us from the traditions and customs, the nationalisms that defined our being for centuries. The nation state is relatively new; it comes in the 17th century, but there was still a sense of space and grounding, family, community, tradition that was considered indispensable for the formation of our moral lives and our aesthetic, spiritual lives. And the modern world is trying to do away with that. It's trying to emancipate us from all that and bring us into a brave new world, progressive future. So the modern world is by its nature liberal. Even conservatives, as long as they're modernists, are liberal. That's what a neocon is. They are a modern conservative. They're basically a liberal conservative. That's why they're just 20 years behind or 10 years behind a Democrat. Whatever the Democrat believes, your typical Republican's going to believe in 10 years from now. Just look at Mitt Romney. He's a perfect example of that, or Liz Cheney for that matter. So it's easy to be very negative because everything we see around us is fighting against the faith, family, and freedom that we love. That modern world is cracking up. That modern world is falling apart. That's what post-secular studies focus on. That's what I discovered when I was doing my doctoral studies. Post-secular studies focus on the various ways in which the modernist globalist world is indeed breaking apart. And a new world, a postmodern, more traditionalist, more religious, more nationalist, more tribalist, more civilizationalist world is rising. So that's what I try to focus on. But there's no question, immigration, unfettered immigration. Interestingly enough, what they're playing the clip, I think it was Henry Kissinger's last interview. One of the last things he said was it was a huge mistake for allowing borders to go open and populations of completely different cultures and the like to just pour into Europe and the United States. So that's been an unmitigated disaster. Duh. All right. So no question. All right. I think we're moving over.
Well, let me just say first, who here in the chat, and put a yes in the chat, just loves Dr. Steve and this kind of commentary and thinks that we need it in 2024? Because I absolutely do. Just every time I listen to you, Steve, it's just an incredible perspective. But guys, this might not be possible for much longer. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. This is under attack. And so if you want to continue to get this kind of information and support what us as a movement, what everybody here, what we believe in, then we invite you to come and put your contact information in. So if something happens, we can contact you. We can stay together. We can continue this relationship that they're trying to sever. So we're going to go over here in just a second to those that have put their name and become a member into our Insiders program. So if you've not done that yet, next step here is click the link in the description, join.turleytalks.com. Make sure that big tech does not disconnect us and that we can have this kind of commentary all throughout the year, and especially this year as it's an election year. So thank you all for watching. Dr. Steve, any words on that front before we switch over?
Yeah, well, again, it's just as we switch over to our own ecology, our own platform, a Turley Talks platform, which is so cool to have. Again, I can't thank you enough for those of you who have just stepped up this week. The love that you've shown to us, the support you've shown to us throughout the week is beyond anything I could have ever imagined. I mean, Hannah would share with me each day the new numbers of members that we're getting. And it was like, what? I've never seen such fast growth, so many members so quickly. I mean, we're on a trajectory to hitting 10,000 members. I mean, this is astonishing. And we're so excited that you are supporting us this way. And we're going to be a very formidable force together in 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony Robbins, I guess, is here. He says, I'm a longtime member. There's no link below this video. I want to make sure there's a link. Can everybody go check for me right now? Can everybody here test it? Go to the description and click on it for me. I want to make sure this works. Can you guys let me know? Can't see any link. Okay, that's concerning. Because we've had people. Here we go. Just click this link right here. I'm going to put it in the chat. No, what? There's a. Let's see. Can you guys see that? Join.turleytalks.com. This is it, guys. Just go to join.turleytalks.com. All right. There you go. You have it. Okay, good. Click on that. It works for you. Okay, good. Perfect. It is working. Oh, you guys scared me for a second. All right. Thank you for letting me make sure that works.
I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming, Elizabeth.
On the confirmation page, if you do become a member, you can watch this stream right here and enter into the virtual studio. So thank you guys for testing that for me. Again, this is what matters going into this year. I know there's a lot of uncertainty. You're just always so optimistic and helpful, Steve. So thank you so much. I'll put that link in the chat here again. Let's stay in touch. And YouTube, we'll see you later. Click the link below and join us in a second. All right.
See you guys.
Bye.